Hi, and welcome to a new segment on Controversy TV, Save Our Future. Today we will be talking to three great men from St. Paul's Baptist Church in Fox Hill. This is the first time ever this segment is going to be viewed on Controversy TV. Good night, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good night.
Fine. Good
It's a
night.
pleasure for us to be here.
And to my, directly in front of me is Mr.
George Bodie.
Philip Miller.
Ezekiel Pratt.
Okay, what we talking about today?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure again for me to be on Controversy TV. We want to just say to our nation that we here at St. Paul's, our men department, Mighty Men Ministry, we are having our Men's Day. And then before our Men's Day, we're having a Men and Boys Conference. And that's why we're here to tell the public what's going on with our conference coming up.
Now, Minister Bodie, I notice your team is the measure of a man. How do you measure a man? By what he has, by the amount of houses he has, by the many amount of cars he drives, by the amount of wives he has? How do you measure a man?
I believe in measuring man is basically deals with his characteristics. What do you portray? You know, someone say attitudes will determine your altitude. You know, your characteristics. I think that's how you really measure a man.
Brother Miller,
Yes, sir.
what do you think about the men in our society today?
Well, in today's society, I think the man basically are just lagging, and most aspects. When I say lagging behind, it's because if you look around and see what's happening, what is taking place over the last year with the 87 murders, and where we're heading right now into this new decade in 2010, I think our men lost the sense of reasoning. I think God, or the Godhead in our life, has been put aside, and now that man is just doing, just heading the opposite way. So this conference, we hope to at least turn some of this around and point men in the right direction.
So, Brother Pratt, you definitely would be redirecting young men through this conference.
Yes, sir, that's a part of my job. I think most of the young guys, they really want to go in the right direction, but the fathers have to point them in the right direction, because that's our job. That's the reason why God really put us here on this side, to lead and point the younger the right way.
Wow, and yeah, Brother Miller, what you said was really touching. You know, you looked at you said 87. I think I researched it should be 88 murders.
88. Right.
88 murders last year is unacceptable. You know why? If you're in a class and you're a teacher and you're teaching and all of your students continue to fail, then you yourself are a failure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
So what are we going to do as leaders? And I like the initiative that the men at St. Paul's Baptist Church are taking. You know, Brother Bodie, tell me a little bit about some of the topics that are going to be shared at this conference.
See, one of the things before we get into that, we're looking at a threefold thing in our conference. First of all, we want to cater to the young boys. And then we want to cater to persons who deal with working with young boys. And then we will deal with men who leads men department. So it's a threefold thing we're looking at. But some of the topics are, who's your daddy? And then we have,
Hold on now. That one is very
touching to you, yeah, who's your daddy?
I just found my biological father, let's see, well, it's 2010 now, let's say 2 years now, eh? 2 years I found my biological father, and it's been a really sad journey. Is that what you're talking about, or who's your daddy? Can you shed a little light on that?
What I've come to realize is that most mothers didn't tell their child who their daddy is. And as a result of that, some persons get depressed, their self-esteem value is really down, and so we want to point them to our Heavenly Father. If they don't have a biological father, and then we here as men will monitor them as a father, so that they'll be able to fit in our society and don't get downtrodden to the fact that they don't know who their daddy is. I think down that line we're gonna portray
Okay.
who is your daddy.
Boys to men, crime doesn't pay. Brother Miller, you care to elaborate?
No problem. Yes, sir. Well, boys to men, crime doesn't pay. It basically, what the idea that we have in mind is basically if we are able to catch these younger ones from junior, from their small, even say start from the primary school before they get into adulthood. Because if we're able to capture them from their youth, right, we can cut out a lot of stuff that's going on right now in this world today. Far as the crime doesn't pay, if you take a look at a Majesty prison, and you will notice that the numbers of young men are in the prison right now far much greater than the young ladies out in men that's in prison right now. So if we can turn this around turn it around right now from the youth, okay?
And what's so amazing, Brother Pratt, is I noticed that you have here working with difficult boys now. I myself won't hear how that's going to happen, how you're going to go about doing that. Can you share something on that right now, or we actually have to come there to see what you got?
Well, working with difficult boys is like a job at home. Because if you are a father and you have sons, it's the same thing in church, or if you go to a setting, the same way your kids back talk you, or when you ask them to do something, they fix that face. It's the same thing. The same work you do at home, the mentor a child from a little boy into manhood, it's the same way in church. But the only thing, it will be other people's children, so you have to take more little patience. But with your children, it's a difference. No different.
Let me further elaborate on that. From time to time, our men department, of course, we have a weekly program at Silence Primary School, and from time to time we go to other schools. In my job as a prison officer, it takes me from school to school just about every month, and so we have strategically crafted this conference even so that guiding counselors and students in school could be a part of this conference. And leading the topic on working with difficult boys will be the superintendent of the Simpson Penn School for Boys, Mr. Wentworth Butler. He will be speaking on this topic, working with difficult boys. And I think those of you who have at-risk students or at-risk kids, this is the conference you need to be at on that Thursday, the 25th. We're going to really dedicate that night strictly for boys.
And this is what Utah Artillery Role is about in 2010. I am about prevention rather than reformation.
Yes, sir.
If we can prevent this child from committing that act,
yes,
and having to send him to jail to try to reform him, let's prevent him. Let's
yes,
nip it in the bud.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to the 25th, 26th, to the 28th, eh?
Yes, well, the 28th is, we culminate on the 28th with our Men's Day. Men's Day. That's Sunday. We close out with
You start on that Thursday, the 25th.
Yeah, we start on the Thursday at 6:30. We'll have our official opening at 6:30. Joyful Sound Marching Band will be providing the music for us. Of course, we have invited 3 of our ministers to be a part of the official opening. And the person of the Minister of Education, Mr. Desmond Bannister.
He is an excellent man. I must applaud him.
The Minister of Youth, Mr. Charles Maynard, Honorable Charles Maynard, and the Minister of National Security, Honorable Tommy Tankers. We have invited them, so we hope that they will accept our invitation, because this is a great conference, and I think the nation want to be a part of this conference. And what is most interesting and people need to hear is the fact that the Deputy Superintendent of Prison, in the person of Reverend Charles Rule, who've worked through the prison system for many years and who have pastored the church for many years, he will be speaking on the topic, leading men.
That's my daddy.
From the pages of my life.
We are open for registration at the church. Church secretary in the person of Sister Maureen Gardner is there to assist. We would expect you to get there as early, because there's limited space available, and we only have room for a few, so the quicker you can get there, the better it will be for you and your organization or your group, whoever you intend to bring with you. But spaces are limited.